All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about Iris Energy Limited, stock ticker IREN. They are a Bitcoin mining company, and they had two separate filings with the SEC in the last couple of days, and I would like to go through both of them. They're totally unrelated, but they're fairly big news, both of them, so I think everybody should be brought up to speed on this. One of these is a follow-up to a situation that we knew was progressing with some of the debt that they have. The other one's something brand new, so if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot. Lastly, if you want to join the channel and become a member, you can hit the join button on the YouTube page, and if you don't see a join button, there should be a link below. Members get some members-only content. In addition to that, we do a once-a-week members-only live stream, and also the members get to pick once a week a company for me to do a deep dive video on. Okay, let's talk about Iris Energy. So first, we'll start by looking at what they're doing today. They're trading at $1.62 today. This is a stock, their 52-week range. They were up at $21, just in their 52-week range. So like most of the Bitcoin mining stocks, this has had a monumental crash in the last really year. They are up 5.8% today. We're in the middle of the trading day. It's been a green day all day so far. We'll see if that holds to the end of the day, but I'm not so much worried about today's activity. This leaves them just under a $90 million market cap company. Obviously, they were many multiples bigger than that. If I look at a chart of Iris's market cap over the last year, if we just go back about 8 months to March of 2022, you'll see this was a $940 million market cap company. They're now under a $90 million market cap company. So that's down 90%, not just in stock price, but in market cap. So they've suffered catastrophic losses. Some of what I'm going to tell you today, I think, has already been built into their price being down as much as they are. Okay, this was the first one. This was filed, I believe, 2 days ago. Form 6K, Iris Energy Limited. So this was filed with the IRS. And I will tell you, both of these things I'm going to show you, and this seems to be a new trend. I don't know if it's all over the place or if it's just a few of these Bitcoin miners. They're starting to do filings with the SEC. They're not giving press releases. So there was no press release on this, and it's not really even mentioned on their website. Of course, it's always mentioned. You can always go check the SEC filings and see what's going on, but typically, they used to really give us a press release and a heads up and keep us in the loop. So for whatever reason, no press release on either of these that I could find, and I checked both their website and the internet, and I just didn't find any. I am going to stick to the first part of this. They kind of grouped all this together. This is their quarterly update. After we go through this debt situation, they put their quarterly update in the very same filing to the SEC, so I don't know. This is a little confusing to me. These should have been separate, in my opinion. They don't have to be, but they're separate issues, and they should have been, in my opinion. And certainly, if you're going to put out your Q3 numbers, that should be a press release. So I'm not saying they did anything wrong. I'm just saying, as an investor, I would expect to see a press release on that. Okay, further to recent announcements. So we did do a video on this about a week ago. We knew this was coming, and now it is here. Further to recent announcements, the non-recourse SVPs have received default and acceleration notices from the lender in respect of the facilities, including a demand that each facility be immediately repaid in full. So they have over $100 million in debt altogether with these wholly owned special purpose vehicles that they have. In other words, AKA a subsidiary, if you will. There's no recourse back to the actual company itself. So the recourse that the banks and the lending institutions are limited to is essentially to just take back the Bitcoin mining machines. I don't know how all this is going to end. Right now, essentially, they let the banks know they were not going to be paying their November, and they were going to be defaulting on these loans. Now the banks have let them know. All these are steps that have to happen just to get to the end. We still don't know. They could renegotiate in the middle, believe it or not, but in the meantime, the bank has sent them a letter to say, you're in default. We call all of your loans immediately. The problem for the bank is they really have no other recourse other than to just take the ASIC mining machines back. So I'm going to keep going because you're going to see there's more to this. As previously announced, the secured machines owned by non-recourse SPV2 and non-recourse SPV3 produce insufficient cash flow to service their respective debt financing obligations. The facilities were intentionally structured for prudent risk management to protect the underlying business and data center infrastructure the group had built. So again, we did go through this last week in a video. They did put a press release out letting everybody know this is what we think is going to happen. These things aren't making money. We're not going to pay the debt. The group does not have any outstanding debt facilities other than these facilities. So essentially, what that will ultimately mean is they no longer owe these loans. They're going to have to give back their ASIC miners that were securing these loans to the lender, and then the loans go away. There is no other recourse. So, and you can see they're telling you the group actually has, Iris has zero debt in addition to these loans. So, whereas this is a step back from an Exahash standpoint, they're going to have to turn off a bunch of their Exahash, their monthly Bitcoin mined. They just set their all-time record last month at 448. That's going to go down dramatically, but they also just erased 100% of the debt that this company has, and it was not insignificant. I think it was $107 million. They then go on to say the group has $53 million of cash and cash equivalents at October 31st. So after their debt is gone, they still are sitting on $53 million in cash. So now you're looking at a company with no debt, $53 million in cash. I'm going to skip ahead for a minute. Then in a couple of bullet points later, they say the group continues to explore opportunities to utilize its available data center capacity, recognizing the current scarcity of industry hosting data center capacity. And this is the important part. And the prospect of utilizing the $75 million of prepayments already made to Bitmain in respect of an additional 7.5 exahash of contracted miners for further self-mining. So they have $75 million deposit with Bitmain, so they'll probably have to renegotiate some of those terms as well. Following the receipt of the purported acceleration notice on November 4th, 2022, certain other subsidiaries of the company terminated their respective hosting arrangements with the non-recourse SPV2 and non-recourse SPV3, and none of the 3.6 exahash of miners owned by such non-recourse SVPs are operating. So they've turned all of these machines off. So everybody's calling everybody's bluff here. These machines are now turned off. Really, the last step is for the bank to just come and take them back, and that's it. So after that, they say excluding such miners. So without those miners, the group has 2.4 exahash of miners as of November 30th, 2022, comprised of as follows: approximately 1.1 exahash of miners in operations, and then 1.3 exahash of miners in transit or pending deployment. Even both of those put together gets them down to 2.4 exahash. So their Bitcoin that they mine per month is going to go way down. But Iris has a low cost per Bitcoin, so we'll see if that equation continues. In addition to that, they just absolutely wiped out 100% of their debt as a company. So to me, I'm looking at this as a very big improvement in their overall financial position. I think this makes them a much, much healthier company. And other than the fact that they're up today because it's a green day, Iris has been getting beaten up very badly over the last few weeks. So, it's trading very near its all-time low, even still right now. Okay, on the same day, November 21st, Iris Energy Limited, up to 25 million ordinary shares. This prospectus relates to the potential offer and sale. We may receive up to $100 million in aggregate gross proceeds from the holder under this purchase agreement. So that would be an average of $4 a share. That's not a guarantee. This is an at-the-market shelf offering that they're announcing. So simultaneous to their debt going away and all the other things they have going on, they're rolling out a shelf offering for essentially $100 million or 25 million shares. Okay, the last thing I want to read in this, it's important to understand that if all the shares offered for resale by B. Riley Principal Capital II under this prospectus were issued and outstanding as of the date herein, such shares would represent approximately 31.3% of outstanding ordinary shares as of November 1st, 2022. If and when they use this entire shelf offering, that will be 31% dilution to their existing stock. So obviously, these usually take a year or a couple of years to use, and there's no guarantee they don't have to use it at all, but there is this potential dilution that sits out there, and the cap of that is 31.3% if they do the whole thing. These are two significant events. This totally changes the entire financial position of Iris Energy. If we take a quick look at their balance sheet, and this is from June 30th, so the September 30th balance sheet is not out yet, but you'll see in current liabilities, they have borrowings of $60 million. In non-current liabilities, they have borrowings of $47.8 million. So that's about $108 million in debt. All that debt is now gone. Now, obviously, as a result, some of this property, plant, and equipment is going away as well because they have to give back all their ASIC miners. They don't have to give back the facilities they were running at, but they did pledge the miners, so they will have to give back some of those miners. But we did see they still have $53 million in cash and a $75 million deposit with Bitmain. So while they have those assets, their total liabilities minus this 108,000 looks like it's maybe only going to be 25 or 30 million dollars of total liabilities. That's less than the cash they have in the bank. So they have resituated themselves in a major way. Yes, it's a step back from an exahash standpoint, but for me, this actually makes this a much more attractive investment, in my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice, so please do your own due diligence. I can't tell you to buy this stock or sell this stock, so you guys got to do your own due diligence and make your own decisions. But what I am telling you is there was some major changes they just rolled out, and I feel like they kind of went a little bit under the radar here because no press release, no fanfare, and they've reorganized their entire balance sheet. So quickly, if we take a look at their stock, this is Iris Energy stock on the 1 week time frame. So you're going to see from their highs, these guys started trading just about 1 year ago. So they opened at their high at around $28. They are down 94% from that right now. So that's the damage that's been done since they started trading just 1 year ago. If I zoom into the 1 day time frame, so this is a look at the last 3 or 4 months, you're going to see all the Bitcoin miners hit a local high in August. Iris Energy was no different. They had a nice run up in August. They got back up to almost $7. Since August, which was just about 3 months ago, this stock is down 76%. So that is worse than the average Bitcoin miner. All the miners are down dramatically since their August highs. But 76 makes them, one of the bottom performing Bitcoin miners as far as their stock goes over the last 3 months. And you can see yesterday on this news, they did hit a new all-time low. They got down to trading at $1.40. They're back up to $1.67 right now as we speak, so they're a little bit off of their all-time low. But this stock has been very beaten down, so you guys got to decide for yourself. This is a lot of new information to process. To me, this looks like a totally different company now. They managed to just quickly and quietly reorganize their entire company. So you guys have to decide, are they a better company? Are they a more valuable company? And, what your risk reward is. But I wanted to let everybody know what is going on because it was a lot of information. So that's all I got for now on Iris Energy. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.